Good evening, you sexy mother. Welcome back to another video today, and we're going to be looking at 10 things I thought all Americans said before visiting the USA for the first time. And then she's got a cowboy hat emoji. If you're new here, my name is Adam. We're having an absolutely beautiful day. I really do. Hope you're having a good week. It's Friday. I don't know when this video is going to be going up, but let's do it.
Okay, the first thing that shocked me, especially when I went to Texas for the first time, was the lack of cowboy hats. I genuinely thought that pretty much a lot of Texans were going to be wearing cowboy hats, and that was not the case. And people in the comments were saying, oh, there's a difference between a cowboy hat and just a hat or a
Is my camera focused on me?
was it maybe? But yeah, I thought a lot more people would wear cowboy hats, but no.
I am upset. I thought if I went to Texas, everyone's going to be running around with cowboy. No. If I go to Texas, guys, I'm just letting you know right now, I'll be putting a cowboy hat on.
A lot of people wear baseball caps in the United States. That surprised me. Like, people wear baseball caps all the live long day. Like, the baseball cap is a way of life in America. The next thing that surprised me is I thought it would be a lot louder. I know people have a joke about how when Americans are...
Ironic that I turned the volume up as soon as she said I thought it would be louder.
outside of America, you guys talk very loudly, and that can be the case. So I did think that everybody was going to be talking loudly all the time, and the strangest thing was that that was not the case. It's almost like when you're in a different environment, you talk more loudly, whereas the volume level is like very
that would be true.
Steady there. I would not say Americans talk louder when in America, but that's an interesting phenomenon. I feel that should be studied, perhaps, by some scientists people. The next thing that I thought would be way more prevalent was pets as wild animals. She said it the wrong way.
Not the pets as wild animals.
Now, there is a whole thing about the flyover states, and I haven't visited them yet because they are the flyover states. And it's not that I don't want to. People are often like, why do you...
What is that?
It's because I've done like a 17-hour flight or whatever it is. And usually I've done 2 flights. I've stopped over somewhere. And the idea of getting on another plane then, it's just like... So I do want to go to the flyover states. I just haven't yet. But maybe this is more prevalent there. What?
Oh, is it when you need to get stopped at an airport and then to go to the next... Okay, gotcha.
Animals as pets. I've seen a lot of documentaries and stuff where people have like monkeys or tiger cubs or raccoons as pets. And I've yet to meet an actual person who has one of those things as pets. Do you have one? Let me know below in comments.
I have 3 chihuahuas. If that's called... I'd class that as a wild animal.
I'm half serious.
She was murdered!
The next thing, and I'm going to say this in a whisper because I don't want to start anything, but I did think that pretty much all Americans would have pew-pews. I thought that pretty much, like, that was the idea you get when you watch film and television, is that everybody has one, or every household has one, and that's just the way of life. But that's actually not the case at all. Like, most people seem to not have... Actually, that's a statistic I wouldn't...
I think it depends on the state, though, does it? I feel like, obviously, every house is not going to hold a gun, obviously, because that's just... chances are very low. But I feel like it depends on the state. Obviously, there's going to be certain states that the percentage is higher, and there's going to be certain states that the percentage is lower, I think. Maybe? Is there an actual stat?
What percentage of American households have a gun? Oh, okay. About 4 in 10 US adults say they live in a household with one, including 32% who say they personally own one. So that's less than half. The next thing is, I thought that when I was in America, most Americans would identify as American. Okay, so we get that when people come to Ireland, for example, they're going to be like, oh, my family is part Irish, my grandmother, my great-grandmother. And that makes sense because it's in the context of you guys being in Ireland. But actually, when you're in America, like, people flat out say, I'm Irish, or I'm Spanish, or I'm German. And I thought,
you guys love that one, bro.
In America, you guys would be more inclined to be saying that you're American. And it's an interesting topic of conversation, I think, because I find it very interesting that you guys are so invested in your history and your cultural
I love that, though. Yeah, I love that, too.
Because pretty much throughout Europe, we don't care.
I just have no idea. I could be from... I've never done that. I have never delved into, like, the history of where I came from. Yeah, I'll be interested. Maybe we could do that someday. I'd probably be from fucking Mars, bro.
Or if somebody has a parent and they're from another country, like they might mention that. Like for example, my friend in school, her dad was from Nigeria, but she was born in Ireland and her mom is Irish, so she just says she's
Nigerian.
And obviously if she was asked about her heritage,
Classic.
she'd say she's part African. But in America, it's like the first thing that people say. So it's just very interesting. The next thing I thought was, apart from maybe New York and California, was that everybody would say howdy and y'all.
Oh,
and might
no.
I say, y'all is a great word I have adopted because it really does narrow things down. You don't have to say you all. That is a good word. We have an equivalent of howdy, which is howya in Ireland, well, mostly in Dublin. But I did think that everybody went around saying howdy all the time outside of California and New York. The next thing that I thought about...
This reminds me of my friend. We went to London a couple of weeks ago and he was literally saying, "All right, mate," to everyone, and it was making me cringe so bad, bro. I was just like, "Carson, please stop. Please stop. You're literally insulting him. Stop doing that."
America
It's just like, what?
Before I actually went, was that everybody had very extreme political beliefs. And for that, I blame the internet, probably. On the internet, everybody is extreme. There is no nuance. That is not a thing that exists. But the majority of American people, and people in general, have more complex viewpoints than the internet would let you believe. There are, of course, people who are like very extreme, but like the majority of people, I think, are just kind of like fairly in the middle-ish. They might be one thing or the other, but they're not as extreme as the internet would have you believe. Or
Internet's
even
just a
television.
sucky
The
place,
next thing
isn't
that
it,
I
bro?
believed was that
really
Americans
is.
have huge breakfasts every single day. In movies and TV shows, again, you just have this huge
Pancakes,
breakfast thing
waffles,
turned out. I've talked about
scrambled
this one
eggs
before
every
on the
single
channel.
day.
And you know, you always see the teenager leaving with a bite of toast and their mom's after making like 3-course breakfast.
I did breakfast.
I did breakfast.
And I think that is very much done for visual stuff. I think from talking to you guys, what most people would have in the States is like a bowl of muesli or a breakfast cereal, or some of you just have like coffee on the go. I'm a big breakfast
Normal people
lover.
just being
I love
normal.
breakfast.
Who would have known?
But yeah, I
Hollywood does
definitely
poison the
thought
oil
that
mine, doesn't it,
breakfast was,
though?
like, a much more bigger deal than it actually is. The next thing is, I thought everybody had huge cars. And I was surprised when I went to the USA for the first time. I went to LA. I was surprised there are so many huge cars. Like, a lot of you guys do have humongous cars. But there are also people who just have regular cars. Something that did take me by surprise is how prevalent Teslas are in the last 5 years. Like, there are so
Fucking
many Teslas
everywhere.
in the United
They
States.
are
and
everywhere.
That's not something that's reflected so much to us here in Europe.
The power of Tesla.
Tesla is...
Hey guys, if you guys own a Tesla, what's your honest thoughts on it? Do you know what really icks me about them? It's the half steering wheel. I would definitely 100,000,000% go to turn my wheel and like let go, because I do this and I would like, if I'm turning, I would probably like move my hand around the wheel. So I'm rolling off. I'm literally going to be holding nothing and I'm going to be going this way instead of fucking, you know what I mean? But if you guys, I'm sure it's something you get used to very, very quickly, or they wouldn't do that. What do you guys think though? I don't even know if all Teslas are like that
But
either.
not
Maybe it's
everybody
just a
has
few.
huge cars. Some people just have regular cars, like little Fords or little Nissans. Or I'm not really good at car brands, but they're just like normal cars. They're not like humongous cars. And the number one thing, and I'm kind of like, ugh, when I say this now, but I really did think it was the case. I thought all of the USA, I'm almost embarrassed to say it, because I know it's
Say it!
a continent and you have all different
Just
types
say
of
it.
weather. I know that now.
Say it!
But my 18-year-old brain did not compute. I thought that everybody in America, apart from like maybe
Just say
the
it.
Sunshine State, I thought you all had a white Christmas every year.
Oh,
Because
for
that's what it's like in the
fuck's
movies.
Look, it's snowing!
So I thought Americans could pretty much count on the fact that you would get snow on Christmas Day. But when I actually sit down and think about it, I realize how silly that is. But yeah, that's what
That's
I thought.
funny, bro.
Let me know below in comments
That
if
is
there are
funny.
any assumptions you had about Europe before you visited, or indeed before you found out a bit more about it.
I had an assumption before I started doing traveling around Europe that it was a shithole, and it is. It's not bad. It's not great either. I hope you enjoyed the video, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that was 10 things that we didn't know about the USA, but we didn't know either. Have a great day. My head is mush. What's happening? Okay.